Hello again everybody, and a very warm welcome back to the channel. Today we're at Birmingham Airport and we're going to be exploring, in a shorter video than the live stream preview the other day, the new Just Flight Fokker F28 Professional for Microsoft Flight Simulator, releasing in a matter of days. If you do want to monitor the release, then head to the Just Flight website. The links will be in the description down below, and I'll update that with the product page when it goes live for sale too. But it's going to be their latest aircraft to Microsoft Flight Simulator, immersive, old school flying, with quite a few remarkably nice features as well. So across this short video, we're going to have a look at some of those key features as a little bit of a highlight preview. Hit like and subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments below as always. Starting with the flight deck then. There are two sets of texture options. There's a 4K and an 8K texture set based on the performance for your own computer. Really nice little feature. They're giving us the options from Just Flight, and the flight deck itself, really old school. 1960s aircraft effectively, flown to the 1970s as well. And it looks like that, it feels like that. They've done a really good job at replicating this aeroplane, complete with lots of really nice custom sounds, decals and animations too. Down here, alternate landing gear operation is a function that does work, as are the APU fire and engine fire switches too, which then automatically shut off the fuel valve as well. If you do that by accident in flight, you can restart it. You'd need to make sure you press that reset button there too. GPS in the middle for those of you who like to load flights from the world map. You can toggle that on and off via the EFB. In the options page here, GPS navigation is a toggleable option, so by clicking that off, it's vanished. So those of you who want to fly really old school without even having that GPS there as a backup, that's what you want to do. Focusing on the tablet again though, as we turn this option back on again. Quite a few other options like the callouts from the first officer, HF aerial option which adds the aerials to the roof, and a hush kit as well to make these Rolls-Royce spay engines just that little bit quieter. But they are really loud and the sounds are remarkably nice. So we're not going to use the hush kit. Like the 146 Professional from Just Flight, you can load in your Navigraph charts, you can load in your SimBrief OFP, and when you do that and you head to the aircraft tab, it will ask you if you want to load it according to the OFP. Just Flight are working on a SimBrief profile, which will mean that we can load and plan our flights accurately to the F28, and there are 4 variants for this aeroplane included too: the 1000, 2000, 3000, and then the largest variant, the 4000. As you're flying along, you'll notice that your fuel is burning away and therefore you're getting lighter throughout your journey. This little card here will update based upon your load for takeoff and your landing as well. So throughout your journey, certainly for approach, you might see these figures at the bottom here change. And once you're beginning to configure for either takeoff or landing, if you click the placard, we keep an eye on the speed bug here, you can see that they change. So they will automatically then snap to the relevant speeds for your departure and your approach. Really, really useful feature, and that's rounded to the nearest 1000 kilograms and will update throughout your flight automatically. Heading into the aircraft cabin, Just Flight again have done really, really nice work with replicating this old school aircraft in a 2-3 layout across the cabin there. Some emergency exits complete with animated emergency exit lighting. It does give you the chance to set some really nice and easy custom views, because you can just walk the cabin and set them up to your preference. The cabin itself, very highly detailed, and as you can see at the very front, just above the galley there on the bulkhead, you can see the no smoking and seatbelt signs, which are animated depending on the links and the options chosen in the flight deck. So if I toggle them now, can hear them go on. Same for the emergency exit lighting, really, really cool. So if I turn this to the on position now, the emergency exit lights come on across the aircraft cabin. Really nice. But that's not all. If we venture into the galley, again, really nicely detailed here, there's a lot of really good stuff to talk about. First up, PA system. The PA system is customizable, and if you venture into the 4000 variant folder, you will find a file called music.wav. Those of you who are familiar with creating music, you can literally create whatever playlist you want, any of your favorite songs. You can save them in a specific .wav format, and it's all detailed in the manual. And then once you put that into the aircraft, you can turn the volume up, and then you can pop the cabin music on and listen to your favorite tunes. These ones are included by default, but you can change them nice and easy to whatever your preference is. Within the panel, down here, you can pop the cabin lights on. And that is reflected in the cabin behind you. And the animations don't stop there. On both sides of the aircraft, you can handle the doors like the crew would. So, to open the forward right service door, you just click the handle. Stunning animations. With these, you get two options. You can board via jetway, or you can board via stairs, as we are doing at the moment. So, for jetway boarding, there is an animated seat. There's also an option inside the EFB if you just click it in the flight deck. But down here, you can press the seat here. It's not actually a seat. It's a panel that drops down onto the floor, and you'll have noticed just a moment ago that then the rails have closed down and that bottom step has lifted and folded up. And that is to support jetway boarding. To revert back, click the panel, and up it goes. When you're finished with boarding, all you need to do is click that button and the doors come in for you. Nice. Now we're going to look at the sounds. So, the aircraft at the moment, we're not actually configured for flight or anything like that. We can pop the nav lights on, and we're going to turn the APU on. And we'll dive outside to listen to the startup sounds for the APU. So that's fired up. APU exhaust has got a load of hot air coming out the back of it. Once that's done, we can go ahead and get rid of the chocks and prepare for pushback. So for me, I use GSX Pro and custom profiles for it. We're going to push back and get ready for departure. For the pushback, we're just going to be focusing on the sounds instead of the procedure itself. The procedure is something you can learn, but prior to purchasing the aircraft add-on, trying to work out whether it's for you or not, you want to know what the product actually sounds like, feels like, looks like.
Release parking brakes, please. Release parking brakes, please. Release parking brakes, please. push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Okay, so engine 2. This time we'll listen from the cabin. And while we're here, we can look at some of the animations now. So we're going to go to flaps 11, 2 stages. There we go. And we can look at some of the aileron deflections, the animations there too. Lift spoilers are also a feature. They pop up and down at touchdown, really cool. And linked to it, this kind of clamshell speed brake as well, which is used in flight, very similar to the BA-146 in fact. So you can deploy that all the way out, that's as far as it will go out. And you can see the lift spoilers on the wings there deployed too. Rudder deflections, right and left, and then looking at the elevators all the way back on the stick, back to neutral, all the way forwards like so, and then from this view heading back down just to have a little look at the ailerons again. You can see the deflections there. What about lights? So lots of different lights and emissives, and they're all controlled on the pedestal here below the throttles. We turn them all on so that you guys can see what they look like. We can pan around here on the apron and have a little look. And by changing to nighttime, we get the kind of true effect of the lights. Incredibly bright. Strobes are stunning actually, bouncing off the apron surface there. Roaring out of Birmingham then, keeping with the sounds. The sounds themselves are really, really something, really impressive. Very playful aircraft, a little bit of gentle wing flex on the outside as we then begin a slight turn over towards Coventry, just hand flying it at the moment so you can see everything. With the Fokker F28 then, the 3 different variants that you get, the 1000, 2000, 3000 and the 4000 versions, all come with a variety of included liveries bespoke to those aircraft, the real operators at the time. Some really stunning different liveries available for that. This one of course is the 2000 variant operated by TAP British Airways. Flying an ILS approach then, it's again quite nice to fly. So we're heading back into Birmingham runway 15 on the ILS approach here. It's a bit choppy, winds are a little variable, a little breezy. It's given us a little bit of work to do, but we're approaching full flap. And again, there's no auto thrust in this. We're having to manage the throttle ourselves, keeping an eye on all of the systems as we descend. I've got both nav1 and nav2 tuned to the ILS frequency, and when we're ready we can turn it all off and hand fly the final approach. Progressing into a little bit of a crosswind for us. It's a very sporty aeroplane, short wing but very reactive, certainly at some of the lower speeds as well. Really good fun and quite the challenge.
Light slow.
Old school marker noises. Looking ahead.
30, 20, 10.
Trying to hold the flare down. And decelerating. Gently on the brakes, there's no reverse thrust of course, it uses the lift spoilers and the brakes to help us basically reduce our speed. It's a little playful in the crosswinds, but that's something that we'll have to get used to. And then as we are ready, we shall pop the eye tracker on and vacate the runway. And there you have it. The Just Flight F28 Professional for Microsoft Flight Simulator. We've got one more set of sounds to listen to before we make our way in, and that's going to be shutdown sounds. We'll get rid of the flaps. Little bounce to the nose wheel as we put the brakes on, come to a stop on the stop line, and we just need to turn the engines off. There we go. The sounds are actually amazing. Really, really nice. Old school jet aircraft engines. Really cool. And that, everybody, is it. Hit like and subscribe. Keep an eye on the Just Flight website for the release. I hope you found this shorter preview packed full of information really useful and helpful in deciding whether or not you want to purchase this upon release, if it's for you, or perhaps not. But in the meantime, as always, thank you very much for watching. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you for a live stream in the very near future. Take care. Thanks for watching.